from 12 primary schools in Tobago participated in the Assembly Legislature's second Primary Plenary Debate. This morning, we head across to Tobago, where Rionne Makoul is at the chamber with some of the participants and debate facilitator Ajay Alleyne. Good morning, Rionne.
And good morning to everyone in studio, and a special good morning to everyone viewing across Trinidad and Tobago and the World Wide Web. We are back at the Assembly Legislature, and we are here to speak with the participants of this year's primary school plenary debate. But before we do that, let's speak with one of the facilitators. Always a true joy and an honor to speak with this young man, Mr. Ajay Alleyne. Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir. Good morning to Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, I know whenever you're here, you always bright smile once you're with your students. So you know that you are in your element. Right. So we saw the debate. Congratulations again this year. You all continue to churn out that, you know, a really nice crop of human beings out of Tobago, and I really had to give a round of applause for that, Mr. Alleyne. You and the whole Assembly Legislature team. Yeah? So, I mean, looking at this year's, getting straight into it, looking at this year's motion, which was the effects of the push for autonomy on Tobago's youth. A long phrasing. When you saw it initially, what was your thoughts, and how were you able to break it down to your students?
Okay, so let me just give you a quick recap. So the topic this year was selected by members of the team in the Education and Outreach Unit. And in writing the motion, we didn't want it to have them too restricted. So we wanted to give them room to explore. So it was written very wide, very open, so they could have chose any direction they would have liked. And we saw what happened. So we saw they choose to explore a wide range of topics. So it was just to give them that room to explore, to research, not to have them boxed or trapped in the actual motion. I mean, when we begin to prep as a team as well, we were fearful as well in terms of how they would manage, but these students are brilliant. I mean, they research, they look, they listen to the news, they pay keen attention to what's happening nationally. So when they came and we begin to go through the motion and break it down, they had already came prepared. They researched before, so they knew which direction they wanted to take, and it was just to guide them along the lines of, this may be what you can say, this is what you can't, swing this a little bit, adjust. So we're just tweaking basically, and not much of having to explain to them what they needed to do.
And were there any memorable breakthroughs or challenges during the coaching with these students this year?
I think there were a number of them. For me, I am extremely proud of the students from Westside Prep, simply because they have a number of learning challenges, and to be able to see them to rise above those challenges, to stand and deliver in the house. I mean, it really got me tearful. I know as men, we don't show much emotions, but I was really emotional listening to those two students and to see them deliver effectively. I remember after the interview, I heard one of the young ladies was saying, nobody can tell me I am not an assemblyman, and I did it. And I really, really felt happy to see and to hear that young lady coming from that type of background going forward.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you ended that way, because it gives a nice segue into what I'm about to ask you. The experience that they had within the debate, and you think that it would have changed their point of views on governance and Tobago's future? Yes,
I think it would, because some of the questions they were asking even before they had the actual debate, you could have seen what these students were thinking. They were asking questions as an adults we would never thought or we had never considered. You see, they now understand what it is to prepare for a presentation or for a debate. They now realize that all leaders, they do just stand and talk or say whatever they feel. They have to do research. They have to look at context. They have to look at how it would impact, who it would impact, why, where, when, how. So they were able to apply some of the classroom teachings and principles into actual debate preparation.
Something that we do really mention, we have to give kudos to the parenting of these students. So I really, really have to applaud the parents, because as you said, it's all about principles, morals, and values, right? Yeah, and they were definitely taught to.
But you see, Mr. Makoul, this year what we would have done, because you would learn as you grow, one of the things we realized this year is having the parents more involved a lot earlier in the process. And these parents made our life a lot easier this year, because they would be the ones calling, they would be prepping, doing the research. They really assisted. And I think now, beyond impacting the students, we're able to impact families. So there were conversations that a parent wouldn't typically have with their son or daughter. They will now have it.
Yeah, excellent, excellent. So, look into the future now. What advice would you give to the parents and teachers who would want to encourage their students or their charges to, you know, be a part of debates like these?
What I would advise them to is to begin to start from now, because this is a lifestyle. This is not just a one-off debate, because we want the students to use the same public speaking principles, the same critical and analytical skills going forward. So it's not just having to come and participate. However, we only have about 21 seats, so some persons may be disappointed from time to time. I mean, we don't have the ability to accommodate all the schools at once. But keep at it, keep listening to the actual debate, and you never know when we may turn up. Also, you can reach out to us at Assembly Legislature here, so we can come into your school and do the exact same thing. You can bring your whole class into the house if necessary, and have a very similar experience as well.
All right, so there you have it, Trinidad and Tobago. Another bright man, Mr. Alleyne. I want to thank you so very much for what you've been doing for maintaining that benchmark of excellence here at the legislature.
No problem. I just want to quickly add to Mr. Rokas. You can see we have the hoodies available. I know you promised you would have gotten yours, so I'm just waiting to see you fulfill that promise. But have a wonderful day, Trinidad and Tobago.
So, Rokas, we're looking for a little pay order for the hoodies, okay? All right. So, time to speak to our students. So, we're going to start with, of course, the presiding officer, Ms. Kaylee Andrews. What does autonomy mean to you?
Well, to me, autonomy would be Tobago's right to have self-governance. And for example, I would use something that I had a personal experience with. When I was younger, I joined primary school when I was like 4 and ended up skipping first year. So I would have been 4 in second year. And when I came up to standard 5, I was told that I couldn't do the SE examination because I was 10. So they ended up holding me back a year to make sure I would have been the age. And the Secretary for Education, I believe that she wasn't really okay with that because she wanted me to do the examination, but the central government said otherwise. So if we had our own autonomy, maybe I would have gotten to do the essay examination last year. So it could have changed a lot of things for schools and the youths and all those types.
How old are you now?
11.
You sure? I need to see your ID card. You sound like you've been in this business for quite some time. But that's really good. That's how autonomy will actually impact. So let me just jump to Ms. Zafir here. From your point of view, what else do you see, or how do you see autonomy affecting or impacting the lives of young Tobagonians?
I think with Tobago having autonomy, we can make better decisions. Like for youths, the example she made was very astonished by me. I was like, wait, hold up, this actually makes sense.
Yeah.
It could also impact our lives by giving us greater opportunities.
So we're going to jump to Ms. Chapman, and you were the Chief Secretary, correct?
Yes, I was.
All right. So my question is for you, was there anything in the motion that you found tricky or exciting?
Well, to me, the phrasing of the motion was a bit confusing, but after I spent the time in the training and at home tirelessly practicing and reviewing the motion over and over again, I realized that the phrasing doesn't really matter. It's the meaning of the motion that truly matters, and that is how I got my speech to sound very articulate and intelligent by reading over the motion.
So we shall go to Mr. Giff. All right, so for you, I have to ask, what was your favorite part about preparing for this year's debate?
Well, my favorite part of preparing was every night keep on practicing my speech and looking over the motion and doing research to make my speech perfect. Yeah. And that was really my favorite part of preparing.
Yeah, it was. Now, I don't know if the cameras could zoom in on the twinkle in his eyes. He seems very excited to be here, you know, and it was a wonderful, this is the minority leader, ladies and gentlemen. Nice. So, Ms. Roger, for you, what was your favorite moment during this entire debate?
Well, my favorite moment was getting to learn new things about autonomy and getting to be in the chamber and hearing other persons speaking about autonomy gave us more ideas. And, well, the training, the persons, the workers helped us to prepare for the debate, and I really appreciate that.
Yes.
Wonderful, all right? So let me get down to the presiding officer, Madam Presiding Officer. How did you feel? I mean, you were commanding the horseshoe. How did you feel standing in the chamber, watching the debate going on or moderating the debate as it go ahead?
Right, well, normally I'm a very quiet person, very shy, and being up there made me feel more confident and made me feel to talk up a bit more, so that kind of gave me a boost of confidence to get ready for when I have to go to secondary school. I really enjoyed the experience.
You enjoyed that? And I had to ask, right? Would you all do this debate again?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
You?
Yes.
You? Everybody would do it again? Why would you do it again?
Honestly, I was not into politics and debating. I wanted to be a pediatric nurse. But when I actually sat down and understand politics, I actually started to feel passionate, and that led to me having the desire to be the first female chief secretary, and that is on my bucket list. So as soon as I finish high school, I'm probably going to get into law and politics.
Let me ask, for everybody, if you were chief secretary for a day, think about it. If you were chief secretary for a day, what would be the first thing that you would do for Tobago's youth? Yeah, let me go with Ms. Roger over here.
Well, I'll try to make things better for the youths in Tobago and help them get more new job opportunities when they finish school, and help create safe places to play and stuff for little children.
Safe places, excellent, excellent, yeah?
What I would do for the youth, I would love to go to the schools and probably set up a program that would help troubled students. For example, maybe after school they may have senior students or teachers come in and helping them with stuff like their homework or studies with where they will have difficulties, and also creating a space in the school where the younger children, because normally when they're playing outside and all the bigger children are around, they might get like thrown over and all those things. So to create a safer area for them to play, because it's actually something I always wanted to do, and I think in the future, maybe if I have the opportunity, I would love to do that for schools.
Yeah, and presently you're at the age to actually see these things happen, right?
So, fresh out of high school, I would open up more opportunities for the new 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds that come out to get permanent job spaces and better environments for students, so that they will be able to focus more while doing schoolwork and have a better performance in Tobago in general.
I had to admit I was a little bit lost. I thought you said you was going to be chief secretary fresh out of high school, but you're speaking about our students fresh out of high school, providing more opportunities for them, yeah?
I would call a meeting with the central government and ask them for better school educations. As we know, currently the Scarborough Secondary School has been asking for a new building for a very, very long time. So I would ask them to grant us the permission and give us the financial support to help us build the Scarborough Secondary School. And also, not just for the schools, I will also go out on the streets, and the young people, as the presiding officer said, the troubled students, I will help them get off of the streets, help them give them a job, a house, food, and we'll try to clear the streets so that it would be a safe environment for everybody, and the future generations could see that the work that our generation did.
Right, so, Ms. Connell, Zafia, tell me, if for your peers and probably students around your age group, what advice would you give to them if they wanted to be a part of next year's debate?
I will say to be more brave and confident in what you are saying. Don't just read it like it is. It's not a speech. It's more than a speech. It has meaning towards Tobago. Yeah.
I would tell them to be themselves.
Yeah.
Don't rush the speech. And as Ms. Connell said, be braver. And don't let anybody doubt you or say, you too young, you can't go up for this, because age, it has no limit to age. So reach for the skies and be yourself, be proud of yourself, and you are good enough.
All right, so I just want to really thank you guys for spending the time to chat with us today. I am always very happy to speak with the young, bright minds, and as always, you know, you all have represented your parents well, so give yourselves a round of applause. Nice, nice. And of course, Trinidad and Tobago, as you heard from our participants of this year's plenary primary school debate, you know, let me just sum it up for you. Whatever you're doing, do it with purpose. Do it with purpose. You understand? And whatever you do it to your best and trust in the process. So from all of us here at the Assembly Legislature, we just want to wish you all a fantastic day. Take care.